wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We're on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and right here, FS1. Merry Christmas. New Year's coming up. It is great to be here on a Monday. Jamie Maggio is joining me. Jamie, I just had a friend send me something with a laughing emoji. Merry Christmas. NASA says in 2023, 4.5 years, an asteroid as powerful as 50 megaton nukes is slamming into the Earth.
Oh, great. Merry
Christmas, everybody. Well, what kind of thing is that to send me? I got 4 Christmases left, and then I'm in a kablooey, or what a... God, it says May slam into Earth. Like May could be. You don't even send that out. Send that out in like 3 weeks. They didn't just send that out today. So it's great to have you in, everybody. I know some of you are unwrapping presents. I'm one of those unwrapping presents tonight with the kids. I hope everybody is having a joyous holiday season. Sometimes it feels like we're a little divided country. We're going to unite here for our last hour. We have Marcellus Wiley coming up in 10 minutes, one of the funniest guys at our network, former Charger, former Cowboy, former Bill, former Jag, Pro Bowl defensive end. He'll be joining us. One of my favorite things on the show, we'll end today's show with a 3-word NFL game. We believe every Monday you can describe every NFL game in just 3 words. But first, there was a great duel on Sunday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Seahawks. But as it turns out, last night was not about Mahomes. Russell Wilson was better than Patrick Mahomes last night, and Mahomes will win the MVP, and Russell Wilson did not make the Pro Bowl. Aaron Rodgers did, and Russell Wilson beat Aaron Rodgers this year head-to-head, too. Russell Wilson didn't just win last night. He out-Mahomed Mahomes. The biggest scramble of the night? Oh, that was Russell. The biggest throw of the night? Oh, that was Russell. With less surrounding talent, he had significantly more first downs, was better on third down, was more accurate as a thrower, averaged over a yard more per pass, and dominated time of possession. But the media is so desperate to find the new shiny toy that they overlook a LeBron when it comes to MVP and give it to the flashy guard. They overlook the great players right in front of them like Russell Wilson. It's the new guy who doesn't look when he throws. For the record, if you're going to be MVP, I think you have to win one of the 4 biggest games this year, and Mahomes is now 0 for 4, and this is not criticizing him as a player. It's not all his fault. But Goff, Brady, Rivers, and Wilson on a Sunday night, a Monday night, a Thursday night, and again a Sunday night, standalone games, all of them, Goff, Brady, Rivers, Wilson, were the better quarterback at the end of those games. More decisive, made the big throw, made the big decision. All 4 were better. Not saying Mahomes isn't amazing, fun, clever. Congrats to the Chiefs. You found your dude. He is awesome. I love watching him play. But 0-4 in the 4 biggest games of the year should not be MVP. All NFL games are not equal. That's why they give the Heisman to the quarterback who plays great in the biggest games. Tua in Alabama dominated Citadel. Struggled against Georgia and didn't win. I don't care what you do in September. You know a team that struggles in September? Every year? New England. This league is about post-Thanksgiving. It's about standalone primetime games. Kirk Cousins is great on that 1 o'clock window. He and Andy Dalton can't win primetime games, and that's why fans criticize him. I'm not blaming Mahomes for anything. He's fantastic. He's a great kid. He's got a great story. I am rooting for him. I love Andy Reid. The Chiefs will make the playoffs. Hey, I said I think they have a chance probably to get to the AFC Championship. But you do get last night, the guy with the defensive head coach with less surrounding talent was the better quarterback. Chris Collinsworth, who loves Mahomes, he loves Mahomes, admitted late that Mahomes was the second-best quarterback on the field.
2nd down and 12. And Wilson going for it all. And it is somehow at the 21-yard line. Lockett pulls it in.
Al, I think Russell Wilson is the best deep ball thrower in the game right now. And the reason, Look at the height he gets on this football. He's going to throw it straight up in the air. And as a receiver, what happens is it comes straight down. So even though the defense is right there, it gives you a chance to pin him on your back, extend your arms, and make the play. If that ball comes in a low trajectory, you can't do that. That is a phenomenal throw. You want to add a name to the MVP list and conversation? Throw in Russell Wilson. He's been that good tonight.
Yeah, except he's been here a while, so he didn't make the Pro Bowl. And Mahomes is the shiny new toy, and he'll be the MVP. We always get lost in volume. Buffets don't have the best food. They just have more of it. We get lost in volume. Only 3 times this year has Russell Wilson thrown the ball 32 times or more. It's the opposite for Mahomes. Only 3 games he's thrown for 32 or fewer times. But just because there's more Mahomes doesn't make him better. Russell Wilson is the better of those 2 quarterbacks, and it was on full display last night. I think it's a bit ironic Kansas City bum-rushed Alex Smith out of town because he won a lot of games that didn't count and couldn't win the Big E. And Mahomes is a legend, and he's 0-4 in the Big 4 stand-alone games. Russell Wilson is 3rd in the NFL in passing touchdowns, 3rd in the NFL in passer rating with a defensive coach, a rebuilding offensive line, and no, quote, stars around him. This is not to criticize Patrick Mahomes. He will win the MVP. I love young quarterbacks. He's going to be an awesome Favre-like player. He's going to end up in a couple of Super Bowls. I hope he and Andy Reid win a couple. Heck, it may be this year. But new doesn't mean better, and volume and more doesn't mean better. Russell Wilson is the better of those 2 quarterbacks now, previously, and for the next several years. Let me shift gears to this. It is amazing. I've been watching the NFL for 4 decades. I've never seen a year like this. We're going into Week 17. The AFC is pure insanity. There's still stuff up for grabs in the NFC. It doesn't work out this way. Usually Week 16, 17, people are resting starters. It is unbelievable what's going on right now. And the most unbelievable thing is the Pittsburgh Steelers are currently in 8th in the AFC and only 6 teams go. How is that possible? Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh is so talented that Antonio Brown was double-teamed most of the night and still had 14 catches. They went to New Orleans, according to Vegas, the hardest place in the NFL to win, against one of the NFL's best coaches, best quarterbacks, best defenses, best running backs, and actually won time of possession, total plays, yards per play. Pittsburgh is so talented, they're on their 3rd running back. Oh, yeah, he's good too. They've got 2 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. They're tied for 3rd in sacks. Young linebackers, outstanding. You know what the Pittsburgh Steelers have become? They're that guy or gal you work with, and they do just the minimum amount of work to get the job done and not an inch more. And you can't fire them because they do get the work done, but you're always like, brah, really? 2-hour lunch? The Steelers may miss the playoffs, and it won't be because of last night. It will be because they lost at Oakland. There's no excuse. Losing last night, there's an excuse. The Saints are great, especially at home. I'm not going to blame the fake punt. That's not why they won't make the playoffs. I got the call. I may have done it. You can't lose to Oakland and tie Cleveland and lose to Denver and blow a 16-point lead at home in the second half to the Chargers. This continues to be the most unexplainable, gifted team in the league. I mean, think about this. There's a dubious stat the Steelers have, and I don't like going on and on about stats. But the Steelers own a dubious stat, and I think it says a lot about their organization. In the last 10 years, when a team goes on the road and is favored by 9.5 points. That means the team that's going on the road is way better. The Steelers are 6-5. The rest of the league is 52-10. They just do the minimum amount of work required. And this year, again, it bit them in the butt. Kevin Colbert, the GM, has done an amazing job. The Rooney family has done an amazing job to provide Big Ben and Mike Tomlin, great young linebackers, pass rush, 3 capable running backs, superstars at wide receiver. They're doing their job. Big Ben, Mike Tomlin, blame who you want. They didn't lose because of a fake punt. They lost because they lost to Oakland. And they just do the minimum work. I heard over the weekend, I didn't get it double sourced, but I heard a source tell me 10 Steeler players were on their cell phones at half against New England. At half. Now, I couldn't get it doubled source. I'm not sure if it's true, but the source that told me I trust. Come on now. Come on now. Mike Tomlin after the game.
We made the bed. We'll lay in it. And I'll expect us to lay in it very well and perform. We'll control what it is that we can control, and that's our preparation to play next week. All other things out of our control, we won't worry much about. Like everyone else, man, we've had, 15 opportunities to this point to state a case for ourselves. So we won't lament about our positioning. We'll just simply control the things that are in front of us, and that's next week's preparation and play.
He is absolutely the best in the league at the podium after a win or a loss. And again, I'm not calling for Tomlin to be fired or Ben to be replaced. They get just enough of the work done. But this year, I'm afraid, Oakland, 16-point lead, Cleveland, Denver, it's going to bite them in the butt. And there's really no excuse. By the way, a 3-word NFL game, Marcellus Wiley is joining us around the corner. He's always a blast to have on the show. Something else to remember, I have been getting over the course of this show texts from people in the NFL, scouts, execs. Over the next 2 weeks, there's a lot of teams, 4, 5, 6 teams, 7 on average the last decade, that'll look for new coaches. There's not 7 great candidates out there. So don't be surprised in the next 4 or 5 days if you don't see a firing and a hiring of a new coach. It's the minute that the season's over, I mean, boom, 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 you're going to see stuff happen. So the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a flurry of activity because there's not a ton of great candidates and there's a ton of NFL head coaching positions. So this next 2 or 3 weeks is going to be really fun. We're going to have coaching jobs, availabilities, firings, breaking news. We hope you watch it here on FS1. Coming up next, Marcellus Wiley, 3-word NFL game.